Aisha was born in a crowded neighborhood where hope was often a scarce commodity. Her family lived in a small, dilapidated apartment above a busy street, where the sounds of vendors, traffic, and occasional arguments never ceased. Her parents worked tirelessly. Her mother as a cleaner in an office building, her father as a delivery driver. Yet their combined income barely covered the essentials. From a young age, Aisha learned that life was hard. There were no luxury toys, no vacations, no evenings spent in comfort. Instead, there were long walks to school, shared meals of rice and lentils, and the constant awareness that money was always just out of reach. But Aisha had something intangible that no poverty could take away. A fierce curiosity and an unshakable determination to rise above her circumstances. School presented its own challenges. While other children wore neatly pressed uniforms and carried colorful backpacks filled with books, Aisha's clothes were hand-me-downs, patched repeatedly by her mother. She carried her books in a worn canvas bag, the straps frayed from years of use. Some classmates stared, others whispered. "Why does she even try?" they said. "Her family can't even afford proper shoes." These words stung, but Aisha refused to let them define her. She spent her mornings walking barefoot when necessary, navigating streets filled with puddles and broken pavement, determined to reach the one place where she felt some sense of possibility, her classroom. Despite the challenges, Aisha excelled academically. She was bright, inquisitive, and relentlessly curious. She devoured every book she could find, borrowing from friends, neighbors, or the tiny library in her school. Every page was a window into a world beyond her neighborhood, a glimpse of opportunities that seemed unreachable but tantalizingly close. At home, Aisha faced another kind of struggle: discrimination. Some relatives looked down on her family because of their modest means, questioning her worth and that of her parents. Even neighbors sometimes cast disapproving glances, murmuring about how a girl from her background could ever succeed. But instead of succumbing to bitterness, Aisha transformed this prejudice into fuel. She repeated to herself, quietly but firmly, "I will show them that my background does not limit my future." Her parents, though exhausted by life's burdens, recognized her potential. Her mother would say, "Aisha, you carry the dreams of our family. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you are less than your abilities." Her father nodded, adding, "Work hard, learn, and let your actions speak louder than their words." As she entered her teenage years, the weight of societal bias became more pronounced. Some teachers assumed she couldn't handle advanced classes. Peers sometimes excluded her from group activities. But Aisha's response was consistent. She showed up, studied harder, asked questions, and completed every task with precision. Each small victory became a quiet rebellion against the low expectations imposed on her. One day, her school announced a regional science competition. Many students dismissed it as irrelevant, saying only children from affluent families could succeed. Aisha, however, saw an opportunity. She spent weeks after school, sketching ideas, running experiments with makeshift equipment, and carefully documenting her results. Some evenings, she worked by the dim light of a single bulb, her fingers sticky with glue and paint, her notebook smeared with pencil marks. When the day of the competition arrived, Aisha presented her project confidently. Judges were impressed by the creativity, thoroughness, and insight evident in her work. She didn't just participate, she excelled, earning first place. The applause, the smiles, and the recognition were not just about the trophy. They were validation that her perseverance could overcome prejudice and scarcity. Her success did not stop at school competitions. Aisha applied for scholarships to pursue higher education. Many applications seemed intimidating, requiring essays, recommendations, and proof of achievements she had struggled to obtain. Yet she approached each challenge methodically. She wrote late into the night, polishing essays and practicing interviews in front of a mirror. Every rejection letter she received, instead of discouraging her, reinforced her determination to try again. Eventually, Aisha secured a scholarship to a prestigious university in the city. It was a transformative moment, the culmination of years of struggle, discipline, and self-belief. Moving to the city was overwhelming. Skyscrapers, bustling crowds, and the fast pace of urban life were worlds away from her childhood neighborhood. She struggled with self-doubt and moments of imposter syndrome. Many of her peers came from backgrounds she had only read about in books. But she reminded herself of every hardship she had endured, every sneer she had faced, and every night she had studied under dim lights. At university, Aisha pursued a degree in social sciences, driven by a desire to understand societal inequalities and empower marginalized communities. Her academic journey was rigorous. Classes were demanding, research papers required long hours of work, and group projects tested her collaboration skills. Yet she thrived. She developed a reputation for insight, empathy, and diligence. Professors began to recognize her talent, offering mentorship and opportunities to participate in impactful research projects. Beyond academics, Aisha confronted social discrimination head-on. Some classmates initially doubted her abilities, assuming her background limited her potential. But through consistent performance, articulate arguments, and the quiet confidence that came from surviving years of adversity, she earned respect and even admiration. While in university, Aisha also dedicated time to volunteer work. She tutored children from low-income neighborhoods, helping them with reading, writing, and basic mathematics. She organized workshops about self-confidence and resilience, sharing stories from her own life to inspire others. For Aisha, this work was not just charity. It was a mission to create the support she had once lacked, ensuring that other children would not feel powerless in the face of poverty or prejudice. After graduation, Aisha faced the daunting world of employment. Despite her degree and accomplishments, she encountered biases, interviewers doubting her abilities because of her humble background, companies favoring candidates from elite schools, and assumptions that she lacked sophistication or social polish. Each rejection was a painful reminder that discrimination persisted even in spaces she had worked so hard to reach. Yet Aisha persisted. She networked tirelessly, sought mentorship, and refined her skills. Eventually, she secured a position at a non-profit organization focused on educational equity. Her lived experience, combined with her academic knowledge and leadership skills, allowed her to excel. She spearheaded programs that provided scholarships, mentorship, and resources to children from underprivileged backgrounds. Over the years, Aisha's work expanded in scope and impact. She became a recognized advocate for educational access, invited to speak at conferences, contribute to policy discussions, and advise schools on inclusive programs. Her journey from a disadvantaged child to a leader in her field was a testament to resilience, determination, and the refusal to be defined by circumstance. Throughout her life, Aisha never forgot the moments of doubt, fear, and exclusion she had endured. They became fuel for empathy and action. She maintained personal practices to stay grounded, journaling, meditation, and connecting with her community, ensuring that she remained focused and resilient even as challenges grew more complex. Aisha's story is not just one of personal triumph. It is a narrative that illustrates the transformative power of perseverance in the face of poverty and discrimination. She demonstrates that societal barriers, though formidable, can be challenged with determination, creativity, and courage. Her legacy continues to inspire. Children who once feared failure now see a path to possibility. Communities that struggled with low expectations are learning to believe in potential. Aisha's life shows that adversity is not an endpoint, but a stepping stone to purpose, influence, and positive change. Even today, when she reflects on her childhood apartment, the long walks to school, and the whispered judgments from neighbors and classmates, Aisha smiles. Those hardships shaped her. They forged a strength, clarity, and empathy that success alone could never teach. The message of her journey is clear. Your background, your circumstances, and the prejudices of others do not dictate your destiny. With perseverance, vision, and courage, anyone can rise, make a difference, and transform not only their own life, but the lives of countless others.